So it's a beautiful day in the Jersey Shore today, but last night was not a beautiful night. We had a wildfire, very similar to the one that they had in Los Angeles. It went throughout all of New Jersey, and where I live out here in Barnegat, it was really bad. The air quality was terrible. It was very hard to breathe. I think they evacuated towns like close to us, like Manahawkin, I think Lacey, I believe. Barnegat, it was like a voluntary thing if you wanted to leave. We were thinking about it. At one point, I packed up the dogs, and we got some very important things we needed, and we were out. We were gone. But I waited like a few hours, and I spoke to some law enforcement, firefighters. And they said that it's all working out. The fires are being controlled. And they said that they feel that power would be back on by 9 o'clock in the morning, which it didn't. We just got our power back right now, which is almost like 4 o'clock. I think it's like after 3:30 now, p.m. It's in the afternoon. So they were a little off in their assessment with the time. I was just taking a walk. It was a very, very stressful night. Very stressful. I'm dealing with way too much. I'm going to be honest. I'm dealing with way too much. You know what it is? Look, if I had my Jennifer, my beautiful Jennifer, my wife, I don't know if you know this, but my wife passed away. I still can't accept it. I can't believe it. She was too young, 46 years old, and she was fighting the good fight of cancer for 10 years, and so strong. Such a powerful, powerful, beautiful, beautiful woman who loved me with all her heart, loved her children with all her heart. But if I had her, let me tell you something, I could deal with anything. When Jennifer was in my life, the Apefather, aka RichardLevoi, there's nothing I can't handle. You could put me up against Godzilla. You could put me up against King Kong. Forget about it. Wow! No, seriously, all joking aside, I would deal with anything. I would actually have looked at it like this was a big adventure. Like I would have packed up the fam, my wife and my kids, and I would have made it like it was like an adventure. I would have tried to make it fun, a very stressful situation. Actually, I'll tell you a story. We had a blackout when Jennifer was still alive. She was in the hospital. I believe this was in like the beginning of February. And that's what I did. I made it an adventure for the kids. We drove off to the hospital, and we all stood there for many, many hours by Jennifer's side. And we were a family. We were just a family together. I told her, honey, there's a blackout. We lost our power, in the house. I was telling her, and I said, I want to spend time with you. I want the kids to be with you. I want us all to just be a family, and she was nodding her head. She was on a ventilator. God bless her at the time. So the thing is, when Jennifer is in my life, I could deal with anything. The problem is Jennifer's not in my life. And then, I don't know if you heard this, 2 weeks after my wife passed away, my mom passed away. My mom is not in my life. So now it's like, I'm just going to tell you how I feel. I'm this single dad. I never wanted to be a single dad. No, that's not the plan. Who's got all this responsibility, all these bills, that I've lost my income. We had $7,000 a month coming in, household income. I was Jennifer, my wife's caretaker. That's just the way it was set up. Look, guys, I was in sales prior to my wife, unfortunately getting cancer. I was in sales for almost 20 years. And, people are like, well, why don't you get back into it? Yeah, I'm thinking about it. My head's not right. That's the thing. I'm going through major grief, major heartbreak. My heart doesn't feel good. My head doesn't feel good. I don't feel like myself anymore. It's hard to get up, go to work. It's hard. I know some people say, but that's good for you. That's going to take your mind off things. But you also have to be kind of sound mind. You got to have a clear head to do certain things. I don't even have the time to grieve. This is what people understand, is that my kids need me every day. I'm with the kids. You know what happened to my life right now? It's all about the kids. It's just everything I'm doing now is for the kids. That's it. Every day is, what could I do for the kids? What could I do to make the kids happy? That's what my life is. So I'm just taking a little walk right now. That's for myself, just to kind of relax. But At some point, hey, maybe I could become a famous YouTuber. That will solve all the problems. You could help me with that. If you heard about the Apefather VIP Club, what it is basically a small cash app every month for my very loyal followers, my loyal subscribers. And it's basically to get Apefather and my family back on track. I want to start listening to all of you. Like, in other words, I want you all to give me good sound advice. Apefather, you should maybe start the Apefather Italian restaurant or this or that. And if I get enough support, anything is possible, Anything is possible to help us get on track, to give us a mission. I want to really build the Apefather brand. That dream has not changed. I always spoke about that with Jennifer and my mom, that I wanted to build the Apefather brand. And it's just that right now, unfortunately, my family got hit so hard between the loss of my beautiful wife, Jennifer, and my beautiful mom, Josephine. All of this happened in 2 weeks, from each other. That I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I feel like I'm in the Matrix. I'm walking around. Everything seems like the same. Everything looks the same. All the people, all my neighbors look the same. Everybody, like the guy in the pizzeria looks the same. Hey, Richie, what do you want? A calzone today, Rich? Yeah, let me get a calzone. Thanks, Chris. It's just, everybody's the same, But what's not the same is my life. That's what's not the same. Everything's the same except for my life. How did those all happen? Just a few months ago, we were all very happy. We were a very happy family. And I know what you're going to say, but you got your kids. You got to be strong. I am being strong for my kids. I hate it when people say that. I am being strong for my kids. But it's like, I don't have the right to be upset. Let's see. I know my wife 27 years. My 20th wedding anniversary just passed. April 9th. That would have been our 20th wedding anniversary. I didn't want none of this, okay? I know what you're going to say. Well, nobody wants to lose their loved one, but it happens. But not at 46 years old. She was too young. I'm upset. I am upset a little bit at God. Not a little bit, a lot. You have to take my wife and my mother in 2 weeks? Listen, I know God's got the divine plan, but I don't understand in his divine plan where, my children, Sophia's 11. Michael is 14. They need their mom. Jennifer was so important to us. So my mother was important to us too. Listen, let me be clear. I love my mother, but I was blessed that my mother took care of me my whole life. I was blessed. I'm 47. Sophia's 11. Michael's 14. That's too young to lose your mom. I had my mom with me my whole life. I was blessed. She even had the opportunity to see her grandkids grow up. But Jennifer's only 46. She was 46. It's too young. But then people are like, oh, but you should be grateful. I am grateful that I've known her all these years and she brought me happiness all these years. I'm very grateful. You should be grateful. She lived with cancer for 10 years. I'm grateful because she was a warrior and I'm proud of her. But I miss her. And my life's not the same. I wasn't. Look, see, people misunderstand. People are like, oh, hey, Father, you just don't want to do domestic work. It's not true. Ask my kids. Like, I'm cleaning the clothes. I'm cleaning the house. I'm taking care of the dogs. I'm taking care of the kids. I'm taking care of everything. It's not, and I would have done it. Listen to me. I always was there for Jennifer. I was always taking care of her. I always gave Jennifer everything she wanted, and I was her caretaker, and I was there for 100%. A lot of stuff people say was jokes. Like, me and Jennifer loved the honeymooners. You understand? Like, people are like, oh, we used to do this comical thing where Jennifer would put my socks on. It was a joke. People don't understand it. She doesn't put my socks. She never put my socks on. Guys, you got to understand, a lot of things on YouTube is entertainment. It's to make you laugh. The truth is, where Jennifer was really, really there for me was with her heart. Emotional, love, support. She was such a loving, loving wife. A loving mother. A loving human being. Her whole life was dedicated to her family. It's rare. You're not going to get that again. That's like, you don't get people like that in this world. Who just, their whole life is about their family like that. That's like one out of a, I don't know, 1 out of a trillion, one out of infinity. You don't get that. That's why I tried everything to save her, man. I tried everything to save my wife. Everything. I don't know. I just can't accept it. Many times I say to myself, this can't be real. This can't be real life. I keep thinking I'm going to wake up. I know you think I'm kidding you, but I'm not. I keep thinking I'm going to wake up and this was all some big dream or a nightmare. and it's going to come to an end, and that's it. And then Jennifer will be back in my life. My mom will be back, and everything will be back to where it was just a few months ago. But unfortunately, I wake up every day just to confirm my wife has passed away and my mom has passed away. I'm officially a single dad. I'm alone. Quiet nights, kids go to school. Quiet in the day when they go to school. Right now it's spring break, but a lot of just nights and days that it's completely quiet, and having a hard time with it. Not really myself. I tell people that when my wife died, 50% of me died. It's like that movie, I keep saying it, Gladiator, with Russell Crowe at the end of the movie when he was kind of like dying and he was in the cross between the afterlife and the real world. Sometimes I feel like that's what's happening to me. I feel like 50% of me is with my wife in the afterlife, where I'm dreaming about her constantly, and I'm wishing and praying to see her again and to talk to her again. But the other 50% is on earth because my kids need me. And I got to be there for them all the time, and I am. And I'm giving them as normal and as happy as a life as anyone would. They're happy. They go to school. They see all their friends. They're enjoying spring break. I'm doing everything for them. But it's moments like what happened with the wildfires. Like I said, normally I would make it an adventure with the kids, if I had my wife in my life. I said, we're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. We're going to be all right. Because that's just how it was when Jennifer was in my life. I could do anything. But when she's not here no more, I don't know, it's just the scariest experience of my life. It really was the scariest experience. And the kids were scared. We were scared. It was very scary. It worked out. They were able to get the fire out, thank God. My house is still here, thank God. I keep saying thank God, but I'm angry at God. God, taking Jennifer away and my mother away was too much. They say God can only gives you what you can handle. God, you gave me too much. If anybody would like to help our family, please consider it. Be a part of the Afather VIP Club, where you help me get my life back on track, my children's life back on track. The Cash App is the $, RichardLevoi. It's the $, capital RICHARD, capital LE, V as in Victor, OI. There's no space, no underscore in between my first and my last name. All of this information is in the description of this video. Something like 10, 15, 20 bucks a month, whatever you want to do. Help me get my life back on track. Help my children. We lost a lot. Find it in your heart. God bless you. Thank you. And God bless my beautiful wife, Jennifer, and my beautiful mother, Josephine. I love the both of you, my two angels. You're in my heart. You're in my soul forever. God bless you. I love you, Jennifer, and I love you, my beautiful mother, Josephine. I love my beautiful wife, Jennifer, for always and forever.